going to be, he's trying to cop a feel a little bit, but we're going to be talking a little bit about the Lodi Grape Festival.
Want to win a PlayStation 5? Like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Welcome to Animals Wow TV. Today we'll look at the top 10 best animal news bloopers. Stay until number 1. You won't believe how a puppy interrupts her human's live TV broadcast. Number 10. The Dog and the Weatherman. 2020 was the year that forced many people to work from home. For animal lovers, this meant spending 24/7 with their pets, something that many loved and celebrated. The majority of those that loved this change was, of course, the animals. As for the humans, well, let's just say that a needy pet is not conducive to work. For example, pets in live broadcasting just don't seem to work right. Actually, animals taking part in live broadcasts have historically turned into hilarious disasters for the reporters. Here are our top 10 animal news bloopers. Get ready for some laughs. And we start with Fox WTVT's meteorologist who was delivering the weather forecast from his home in Tampa Bay, Florida, when his golden retriever Brody decided to hog the spotlight. To be fair, Brody just wanted his dinner and the reporter was taking too long. So he jumped onto his human's lap to get his attention, but his head knocked the laptop so the map for the weather disappeared. Being a veteran newscaster, the reporter finished his forecast without supporting graphics. Brody patiently stood with his front paws on his human's knees. But even a dog's patience can run out. Brody yawned and his human was forced to say,
"Didn't mean to keep you up. Next time, buddy, we're gonna eat after this." So that's the forecast.
But Brody was already bored, so he decided to check out the cameraman who was crouched under a blanket on the porch.
Oh boy. She's jumping up looking for Craig outside the window.
Needless to say, Brody became a viral hit on Twitter. Fans praised him for improving an otherwise boring weather forecast. Number 9. Cat Fu Live. You've seen Kung Fu, Gun Fu, Dog Fu, and now we present Cat Fu. A Filipino broadcaster became viral worldwide not for her insightful interview, but for her fighting cats. The broadcaster was interviewing a guest when her 2 cats began fighting behind her. And this isn't some petty fight, it's a full-blown cat fu fight. The reporter doesn't realize what's happening at first, but someone, probably the person helping her with her camera, must have alerted her to what's happening behind her shoulder. She looks off camera several times, possibly thinking of what to do. In the end, she chooses to just go on with the interview. Truly, lockdown TV at its finest. Number 8. Amorous Pig. This is an oldie, but it's still funny. An on-site reporter for Ant One TV's Good Morning Greece show was supposed to deliver news about the devastating effects of a storm on a resort town called Canita. The veteran anchor in the studio introduces the reporter while visibly bracing himself for some bad news. But instead of showing how Canita was bombarded by torrential rain, the reporter was bombarded by the advances of a large pig instead. When he goes on air, he immediately reports about the pig instead of the rain. He says, "Good morning, we have an issue. Gorgos, can you hear me? We have a pig here that's been chasing us since the morning. Sorry, I can't stand still, it's biting me." Still on air, the reporter gives up when the pig lunges at him with a love bite that seems to knock him down. They try to stop themselves, but the people in the studio can't help but laugh at what's happening. This pig must have thought she was in The Bachelor instead of the morning news. Number 7. Territorial Lion. Even a veteran reporter is not exempt from disastrous animal crossings. Let's take, for example, this journalist who was doing a feature on Zambi Wildlife Retreat, an animal sanctuary in Sydney, Australia, for retired animal entertainers. The sanctuary has many exotic animals, like pumas and tigers and former circus and show business lions. As they tour, he and his guide look over this magnificent lion. At first, the lion looks bored. The guide pats him and brags that he's a very friendly animal. The journalist crouches next to the guide. The wind must have shifted towards the lion at this point. He suddenly stands up and sprays the humans with a lot of pee. The guide expertly manages to avoid the impromptu shower, but the journalist gets splashed from head to toe. Apparently, the lion thought that the journalist was a rival, so he pissed on the guy to make him smell like he's part of the lion's territory. Number 6. Photobombing Cat. Now, if you think only reporters get interrupted by animals on national TV, think again. Here is the governor of Buenos Aires, Argentina. He's being interviewed live regarding his city's coronavirus response. Thing is, just like many people in 2020, he was giving his report from his home. So about 18 minutes into the 41-minute discussion, his cat, which he adopted from a municipal veterinary hospital, decides to jump onto his lap. The poor thing's probably bored and wants some treats now. Like any good politician, the governor expertly ignores the interruption and pushes the kitty to the side without missing a beat with what he's saying. But the cat also doesn't care a hoot, so she turns around and flashes her butt at all the viewers. Then she becomes interested at the mic before completely losing interest in her human and jumping off screen. What a diva! We're halfway through. Are you liking this video? Please take a moment to like and subscribe to our channel. Remember to hit the notification button for regular updates of our informative and exciting animal videos. Number 5. The Cat and the Weatherman. And here's a mashup of two of our features. When the pandemic struck, Channel 14's Weatherman had to build a green screen studio in his kitchen for his 10 p.m. weather report. 3 weeks into his new routine, his 11-year-old cat Betty showed up and demanded to be petted while the show was on commercial break. The news director at the station saw the Weatherman petting the cat. He suggested including Betty in the weather segment. Although he wasn't sure it was a good idea, the Weatherman cradled Betty in his arms so he could introduce her to the viewers. Betty just lazily looked at the camera and twitched her tail. Of course, viewers loved Betty. And now she's an almost permanent partner during the reports with the official name Betty the Weather Cat Tracker. She's become so popular that she now has her own Instagram page. But despite her fame, Betty doesn't seem to care. She'd rather wash her body on live TV. But viewers adore her anyways, so it's safe to say that Betty will be gracing this station's weather reports for quite a while. Number 4. The Birds. Alfred Hitchcock's classic horror film is about humans being attacked by different types of birds, including seagulls, sparrows, and crows. Well, here's the newscast version of that movie. The first is a black and white magpie that swoops on an Australian reporter's face just before a live broadcast. Even though the incident wasn't broadcast live, nothing gets past the internet, so even this quick incident went viral. During spring, magpies attack humans and other birds that come near their fledglings and nests. Our next bird isn't actually attacking, it's just curious about the weather camera that's perched on a hill overlooking the Golden Gate Bridge. So it inspects the camera just as the weather report cuts to the camera. So viewers were greeted by a gigantic bird beak and head. It looks like it's taking and making its own report about the weather. And our final bird is actually quite cute. San Diego station KFMB was about to do a segment on the San Diego Zoo Safari Park when a hot pink scarlet ibis flew and landed on top of the show's host. The host takes it all in stride while her co-anchor laughs like mad. Later, they have a more sedate time getting to know the little fella. Number 3. Striking snake. Reporters go through a lot just to get a story, but this doesn't mean that they have to like it. Take, for example, this Australian reporter, Sarah Cott, who had to shoot a segment about snake safety. Naturally, she had to have a snake coiled around her to complete the video. Unfortunately, the snake decided that the microphone was a threat and took a few quick bites at it. The reporter tensed up and nervously laughed as the snake moved after the strike. Her cameraman and the snake handler just laughed at her reaction, saying she'd be alright. The snake did calm down, and despite her terror, the reporter finished the segment, but she couldn't wait even a second for the snake handler to get the snake off of her. Number 2. Lemur Attack. BBC is known worldwide for some of the best nature documentaries ever. Of course, this doesn't mean that it hasn't had a funny blooper or two. Take, for example, this report on lemurs at the Bonham Zoo. The reporter is just starting to get his bearing when 8 lemurs attack him on camera. The furry primates don't seem to be angry. In fact, they seem pleased to see him as they dance excitedly around him. Wanting to be closer, they jump on his arms, legs, and back. The reporter is practically a human lemur tree by this time. But then, the biting begins. The reporter tries to rally on, but one lemur bites his finger and he screams. But he's not a professional for nothing, so he tries again. But another lemur bites him and he gives up. It's nice to see that he still has his sense of humor intact because he manages to end with a joke.
I think it's one of the more enjoyable parts of the job, counting lemurs.
Number 1. The dog ate my script. We've all heard the excuse before, the dog ate my homework. Not that it's worked with our teachers, but hey, we can always try. But a Good Morning America's host has a new twist to this excuse, and she has the video to prove it. This is Riva, a rescue puppy who's been her human sidekick since the pandemic started. But she really made headlines when she ate her human script during live TV. Her human tries to get the script back, but the pup doesn't let go of this new treat. But she's so cute that everyone from those in the station to the viewers forgave her anyway. A few months later though, Riva gets some remote puppy training. Hopefully there won't be script eating anymore in the future for this dog. There you have it, our top 10 best animal news bloopers. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe to our channel, and leave a message for a chance to win a PlayStation 5. And while you're here, check out our video for the 10 craziest fights in the animal kingdom.